CP, who is number 2 in assists,
Yep.
also has 23,000 points. He has more points than I have. Players back in the day don't get a lot of respect from players nowadays because of the skill set is different.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not what
That's
makes you
not.
great, it's just skill set. We've kind of grown with Rory a little bit, and he's one of the greatest golfers of our generation. When you say Carmelo name, you shouldn't be talking about nothing but how cold this dude has been since we've known Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody that cold in my life.
Right.
I don't know how you can even open your mouth to shit on a player like that. He had everything. When you are part of an Olympic team, you don't be a part of that team for no other reason than to win a gold medal. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the Timeout with Dwyane Wade. As always, let me introduce my host. First and foremost, we call him Free Wright. We call him Free Gear D Wright. I like Free Wright. We call him Free Wright.
Send it
Free
that way.
Gear D Wright.
Yeah.
Free Gear
We need a
D.
PO box.
Shout out to Free Gear D Wright.
Send the gear.
Send the gear.
Send the gear.
He's gonna wear it.
Please send the gear.
Send the gear. To my right here, we call him a lot of names, but first and foremost, we call him a Dr. 2. Chris Johnson, everybody.
Surgical with these hands.
And last but not least, the guy who has wear many different hats here at the Wide Network, Rec League champ,
Yeah.
Bob Medalist. Is it medalist or metallist? I'm still.
I go by both, actually.
But how
Really?
you can't go by both? It's
You know
one
what
or
it
the other.
is? Because, listen, if I tell you about the origin of my last name, so you know I'm a spontaneous generation. You know what that means? Let me help you out.
Sound like a one night stand to me.
No, I'm gonna tell you though. See, so my daddy last name has 2 L's, and for whatever reason, he put 1 L on my last name, and then he put 1 L on my brother's last name.
Was your mom and dad together at this time?
Not legally married.
I was just wondering what he was thinking. What he was like, I don't know.
See, so it's 5 of us. So the first 3 of us have 1 L, and everyone else has 2 L's.
Huh.
And he put it?
Yeah, well, he did it he made a mistake 3 times. Well, he did the deed 3 times. And so now we're the only 3 in my family that got 1 L on our last
So
names.
were y'all born at the same hospital?
Jackson.
So it could have been the hospital.
No. He probably did it intentional. Don't underestimate
No, 100%. No.
thought process.
Facts. I'm telling you, my dad, he came to the country, this is before all the stuff that's going on right now, and, making sure that I stay here.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, we want to give him a life, give him a chance. So
we're going to take off 1 L.
You see, my name is Bob. Not Robert. Not
Bob
Bob.
from marketing
It is
is?
Bob.
7th floor.
I'm a Haitian man. My parents from Haiti came on a boat, banana boat probably. And my first name is Bob.
That's crazy.
Bruh.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Shout out to Pops.
Bruh, hey,
Shout out to Pops
he
for
was
thinking
making
about
sure
your
I had
future.
exactly.
Giving you an
Shout out.
opportunity.
Because every
man.
job interview I applied for, I got. Everyone called me, hey, looking for Bob?
Bob the Builder.
Bob here. every application I signed, I got a call back. So, hey,
There we go. A little origin
out for
story
me.
behind
Yeah. Hey.
There you go.
the Metellus name.
there you go.
So, man, you guys know we've been talking about timeout a lot. And, I was talking this weekend as we were traveling together. And I got asked a question on E! News about, like, what we were doing this weekend, what we're excited about. And I told him, I said, man, I'm traveling with my brothers, Savannah brothers over here. And I said, we're taking a timeout.
Nice.
This is the end of the first quarter of the year. We're taking a timeout. We're taking a wellness check as fellas.
Facts.
And that's what we just did. So we just got back from Coachella. My first time. Well, we didn't go to Coachella.
We didn't go to Coachella. I
We
was
went to
telling
Palm
my daughter.
Springs.
My daughter said, how was Coachella? I said, we
We didn't go to Coachella.
because we owe.
Yeah,
There you go.
we had passes.
We had
vans.
access.
We had
Yeah.
access.
But we didn't use access.
We didn't
No.
use it.
We
Because
didn't
she
use
asked me, she said, how was Coachella? I was like, 7 o'clock, old people. Feet
hurt.
Feet hurt.
So we didn't go to Coachella.
No.
We actually went we went with Revolve. We went with our
Right.
partners, Revolve. We actually hosted a golf event. We had a golf day.
That was
Golf
fire.
day.
A golf day. As me and D Wright trying to continue to push the Ace brand. It was just another opportunity for us just to, to do something with a brand that we have a relationship with. And so first time they've done it.
Yeah.
And think about on a Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's very hard for people to get up.
That's crazy.
Coachella weekend,
Yeah.
to golf.
Yeah.
But, we introduced something, so that was cool. But yeah, a lot of things that we did was Revolve. So we went to the Revolve Fest.
That's-
We did not go to the Coachella Festival.
And the only reason why he lasted to the last man, because the last man is amazing. If they would have put him first, we would have left about 5 o'clock.
Did they put Lil Wayne first?
They put Lil Wayne first.
Yeah, shout out to Lil
I
Wayne.
knew that. I was like, with Wayne being the last artist, we definitely were gonna stay to the end.
Definitely
For sure.
Well, of course, they smart. They know how to. They know how to do the.
And he
the
put on
list.
he put on a show.
He definitely put on a show. It's a legend. You
Bro,
know.
he's supposed to be
He's
on
one
the
of the
set for
goats.
30 minutes. He
did
put
about
on
an
an
hour.
hour. He did an hour and
nice.
15.
You know how it is. You start getting in your
Your
bag.
bag.
You don't want to leave. Like, no, man, one more.
One more.
Ah.
He was definitely in his bag.
He was
Yeah, no
definitely in
doubt.
his bag.
Definitely in his
But
bag.
first of all, he has to go last.
No doubt.
I mean, it's like the starting lineup. Who do they call last? The guy. I mean, Lil Wayne is top 5 in a lot of people's
Yeah.
lists and top 3 in a lot of people's.
So who else was there though?
I mean, that's
Jello.
when you forget. Like,
Cardi
Jello
B.
was there. Shout out to
Jello was
Jello.
on, yeah.
Cardi B.
Cardi B was there. Shout out to Cardi.
Tiger.
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 He was
You know
there.
Tiger got the hits. You know,
He do got hits.
listen, when Tiger came on the stage, you saw everybody
Yeah.
start coming towards the front.
Yeah.
They know.
They know.
They know.
They know he about to hit you with them hits now.
They
And he
know.
makes the right hits.
Okay.
He's come a long way from lime and the coconut and twisted all up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that song, but that was Tiger's first song. And I used to be like, nah, bro, that's not it. So he's come a long way, man.
Y'all remember that song?
Yeah, shout out to Tiger, man.
You know
So-
what's super dope? And I love the relationship that you built with Revolve. They're next level.
Oh,
And the
man.
way they handle things.
Yes.
Everything was first class.
Everything was first class. The customer service, the attention to details. I was looking at my arm at one point. I had 20 bands, and I ain't used none of them because they roll out the red carpet.
They rolled out the red carpet
I was just
for us.
like, just
But not
looking.
just for us. I think the cool thing about going to the Revolve Fest was it seemed like everybody got the same treatment, got the red carpet treatment. It wasn't one of those spaces where it felt too crowded.
Yeah,
Right.
facts.
They had it to where everything in there was free. Every single
Every
thing once
detail.
you came through that door was free. All food, all drinks, all everything that's passed out. I don't know too many places where you go where they're giving you things for free.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So everyone there walked away from the same experience as us. They got entertainment. It was beautiful people there.
Yeah.
The weather was amazing. And it felt like a VIP kind of experience.
Yeah, for sure. And then when you see the type of names that were in there as well, not only us being there, but the other, whether they were actress, actors,
Tiana Taylor
singers.
was there.
Yeah, YG. We
YG
all know
was
that's my
there.
guy.
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
Carucci
these-
was there.
Yeah, Carucci. Tiana Taylor, did we say her?
Yeah, Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, so
it was a lot. Ryan Destiny was
No,
there.
yeah, it was a lot of people.
And the list goes on and on. I don't want to miss nobody, but it was, and it just wasn't wild. It wasn't crazy.
yeah,
it was easy.
it wasn't Hollywood.
Yeah, it
It
wasn't.
wasn't Hollywood. It was
Wasn't at
very humble. You know, these are our people, and they show love to everybody. So it definitely felt like family. Even though I'm new to the family,
Yeah,
it felt like family.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about that? Because me and D. Wright, we standing side by side and we cracking nothing but jokes. And what I realize is what I love is watching another artist rap
Oh, yeah.
with another. When
Yeah.
Lil Wayne come up,
Yeah.
I'm looking.
You looking at YG, you looking at Chris Brown and
I want to
Tiger.
see how he
Now.
gonna handle it. And when he get up on and when you know,
I like when
and
he go to his next song. They like,
come on next day. It lets you know
Yeah.
that we're all really fans
Right.
of each other.
yeah.
And so there's room enough for people to be great in their own lane
No doubt.
because everybody's different. You know, I even seen Wiz Khalifa over there. He going
Shout out to
butt-
Wiz.
He was going crazy.
He was in front.
Yeah.
as a fan. He was a fan.
Yeah, he was a fan.
And I
yeah.
think that's how, as hoopers, we see the game. We see the game as fans, and we see it as someone that appreciates the art
Yeah,
of
that's art.
basketball. And it just dawned on me, and I'm looking to the left, look to the right, and it's like artists are supporting other artists at the Revolve Fest.
Yo, what about the moment? So we had a moment at the fest where Cardi B was on stage and she had the women going crazy.
she did.
Cardi took it back to the strip club when everybody was
Yeah,
there.
she did.
Yeah.
She was shaking it.
Yeah.
And then she had a moment where, shout out to Cardi as a businesswoman, she has this new like whipped cream.
It's infused.
It's infused.
with like either vodka or
Yeah, like with
tequila.
her own like spirits or whatever what she's coming out with. Now we didn't get the whole take, we just got enough. But she was like, going around everybody and doing this, right? And so one of our guys, Donato, shout out to Donato, my barber, he was standing right there. So we looking like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go, you bet
He
not.
was standing up. We're
He was
gonna
standing
flash.
up.
We're gonna. I filmed him, so I'm gonna pass the clip on to you.
No. She was going in the line. And Nato's right there. And we looking at him like, you bet not do this.
But at the same time,
What did he
Bob,
do? Please
no,
say-
Bob. At the same time, the crowd was yelling, go Donato, go. I told him secretly, I was like, please, I got the camera on him. And he was like this, because what song came on? Oh, we. And she was getting close, and with Donato, you might make Instagram with this.
He did not.
No, he was like,
No, he do it. But it was a moment where we was looking at him like,
But you weren't sure.
you bet not.
You bet, you
bet not.
Is that like catching a shrimp at Benihana's?
100%. You did not ever do that. Ever, bro. Because
she came twice. So the first time it was like, go Nato. And he kind of was like, and I told him deep down inside,
he felt like he wanted.
My inner voice was saying no, but I was saying go. But I was saying no.
I was looking at him like, boy, if you do this, you know what tonight gonna be about?
Oh my God.
Oh man. Oh yeah. So shout out to our Revolve fam, man.
Yes.
Thanks for taking care of us. Man, we had an unbelievable experience. We did not go to Coachella, but we went to the Revolve Fest, and I'll go back again.
Yes.
Because of the way that we were treated and the way that we saw and watched everybody else being treated. So it was a lot of notes being taken.
No doubt.
How to brand build from that fest, and so it was incredible.
And the timeout, when we talk about when D in the group chat, the first thing said, man, that was a great fellas timeout for us, right? And we never can forget about how important it is for people to take a mental timeout.
Yeah.
And so, like for myself, that's like constantly thinking. I'm constantly trying to navigate. I'm always pulling and people pulling. It was amazing for me because I actually put my phone down. So a lot of people don't even, they was like, yo, like, well, I didn't talk to you for 2 days. But it was just like me totally disconnecting. Today, I was on go because those 2 days allowed me to like,
Recharge.
Yeah.
Reset.
It was a reset, recharge.
Decompress.
yeah, because even when I tried to work, somebody came out and recorded me sleep.
Well,
at
you
the
weren't
computer.
working at that point.
Yeah.
Somebody recorded me. I'm
already
sitting
know
It's
there
like doing a show.
I already know who.
I'm trying to.
I already know who got you. I already know.
He got me sleep outside.
I already know.
enjoying my
Listen, if I walk out and see anybody with the dip, if she ain't go to chest, if she in the chest, you getting video.
I
She in the chest, you getting video.
Yeah. I appreciate you getting him back for me because I couldn't catch him when he was asleep, so I appreciate
You
that.
saw send it after I saw him send y'all video. I was like, oh, I got one for
he
you.
got me. The funny thing is that you didn't even get in the Sprinter van. It didn't take you less than 5 seconds.
To go.
He got in, did like this.
Well, okay. So first of all, D Wright and I, and I'm glad that's a segue into our next topic, is D Wright and I went to the Masters right before we got to this weekend.
Yeah.
And so we're tired from traveling
Exhausted.
to Augusta all the way back to California within 2 days, right? And so as I sit here with my new mug, what's up with your, my boy? I see you, boy.
I see
Just a
you.
little Masters, you know, saying Augusta National, you know,
Hey, I like
golf
that mug.
club. You like this mug?
I like
Pure
that
Well,
mug.
hey, what's the hat you got on there?
Who, this hat?
Ooh, that's fire.
Oh, that's just the
Yeah.
Masters.
Oh, just the Masters?
2025. I was there.
Different experience.
So
Very
as a
different.
golfer, man, we have, you know, certain places. You know, it's just like as a hooper, you have certain places you want to play, you want to go, certain people you want to match up with. Well, as a golfer, it's certain courses you got to play and you want to play and you want to go experience as well. The Masters, Augusta is not one that you can just go play, but it's one that you can get a ticket as a fan and you can go enjoy it as go enjoy the Masters. And so this year, this is my 5th year going to the Masters, and I've been able to take different people each year to give them an experience. And every time I've done that, I've gotten a new experience through their eyes. And so this year, my brother and I, we launched our Ace Golf brand. And I said, D Wright, this is Ace, this is our media week. Like we going out, we out here on the road, and we doing our thing. So talk about your Masters experience, bro.
Listen, fellas, first off, once again, I appreciate you for, you know, being so generous and inviting me to something so amazing. Like, you know, you look at the Masters, like that's the finals, you know what I mean? Even though it's the start of the golf season, a lot of people don't understand, that is the start of the golf season. So to be able to go to the Masters, man, and just be there and just amongst the people, no phone, basically disconnecting from everything outside,
No
you know,
phone.
those walls.
For the people that are watching, when you say no phones, is that policy?
Yes, that's
Exactly.
policy.
100%.
So they got pay phones and courtesy phones for you to reach out to people if you need to make a call.
No distraction.
Yeah, no
You can check your
distractions.
phones out the gate.
Yeah.
Outside the gate, you can check your
It's a
phone. So if you
system
need to
to
go
it.
back outside and
Yeah.
check your phone, you have to go all the way out.
So you didn't get a pass on that.
No one gets
Nobody
a
gets
pass
a
on it.
pass.
I just wanted for the
Yeah.
viewers to understand
So my phone was at the crib. I didn't even bring it with me nowhere.
Is
So I
that the
left it
first
there.
time you left your phone at the crib
Man.
since college?
Think-
No, back in the day, you leave your phone.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just get it later.
I ain't left my phone since I had the Nokia when I used to play Snake 1. So that when I didn't have no minutes because I had prepaid.
You had the prepaid.
Yeah. But just the experience that was amazing. Got an opportunity to meet Tony Finau.
Yep.
That was a bar.
That was a bar.
You know, that was probably like the first golfer I ever met, to be honest with you.
And he was about to tee
Wow.
off at 10:30, and we were standing there when he was walking up.
And he was so surprised to see me, you, Ryan, and Steven from Amex.
Yeah.
It was just so many humble brags that I could go on and on and on about. But man, the fact that I was able to experience that, me being early in my golf career, is like, it motivated me so much to get back and get to work on Ace and continue to build and do all the projects I have going on in the golf space. So.
Yeah, you were taking a lot of notes while we were out there. D-Ray was walking around like, okay, they got on a lot of white hats, okay, it's black hats. He was just sitting there, oh, look at this shirt. Okay. I'm looking at him like, take note. And one of the reasons why, outside of it being an experience like the Masters, which, as a golfer, something you want to experience, one of the reasons why I wanted D-Ray to go with me is because we are building a brand together.
Yeah.
And, he is the creative juices behind the brand as well. And so to be in a space where, all the relationships, when you talk about relationships, everyone is at the Masters.
Man.
Right? So when I'm talking about when we were walking with Ryan, we met everybody that was a CEO of this, of that, of this, right? Without name dropping and dropping what they were doing.
Right.
And so we both need to continue to be in those spaces. All of us need to be in those spaces because no one just opens the door for us to meet CEOs of the biggest companies in the world. Right? We don't get that opportunity, but sometimes you put yourself in a position, you're there with them. And so the Masters is one of those experiences where you get to see all the people in the golf world, all the influencers in golf, everybody you see around the world, they all are there that week. And so it was awesome for my brother to get a chance to be there, be seen, meet people, but also to get them wheels turning on, how do we continue to grow, what we're trying to do with Ace.
Hey, I don't know who you're thinking about next year, but I don't mind going again.
I
didn't see everything, dog.
You just gotta keep showing up.
We'll have one day there.
Yeah, only had one day, dog. So
So shout out to our travels, man. It was a great week for us to take time away to, like I said, take time out to focus on things that matter to us. Focus on our golf brand.
Yeah.
And then focus on our fellas' time and kind of giving a mental break. That's what this week was for us. So we took a time out. We took a wellness check on ourselves.
Wellness check.
And that's important. All right.
Yeah, I missed all that.
Yeah, it's okay. You was doing something that we're going to talk about, and now that's a great segue. You were in San Antonio.
Right, I was San Antonio, and before San Antonio, before we go to San Antonio, I was in Santa Barbara first.
Oh, how was
you
that?
didn't? Oh, you didn't tell me. It was your anniversary.
Right.
Yes.
14 years, right? I seen, right?
Oh, look at you. Thank you.
Hey.
That's
14 of them things.
14 of them things. 14 of them things.
That's dope, man. Congrats.
And, thank you. It was good. Santa Barbara was dope. It's funny because living out here in LA and understanding that, I'm a Miami boy, Florida boy, used to the flatlands. That's just my life. Everglades is the only kind of like water outside of the beach that's kind of different topography, right? So we ended up going to Santa Barbara and we ended up staying at the El Encanto. Been to Santa Barbara or Montecito before because we go to like the Rosewood by the beach. And I'm thinking, all right, when I'm pulling up to the El Encanto, I'm gonna be by the beach. They kind of get you with their website. Get you with the website. So mind you, dope place though, mind you, 5 stars. I'm like, I gotta go find some Superfly because Lisa.
To your LaBouche.
Ooh.
Don't hesitate on
Yeah, so it's funny because anyway, so found a spot and I'm like, on the opening shop, cool. We got the pool and it got the water. And I'm like, oh, beach water, that's dope. Pull up, I'm going up a hill. And I'm like, wait a minute. The beach is that way. Well, I'm going up a hill. Man, it overlooks the beach. The angle was real low. So you see the pool and the water. But at the end of the day,
Boy, look like that sound like Instagram, boy.
Right.
They be
they
getting you
got
on them
with the angles.
photos.
Yeah.
They got me with the angle.
40
Hit you with that angle.
They hit me with the leg up like this.
42 sweet feet.
But at the end of the day,
Audible.
that Encanto was a beautiful, beautiful time because they took care of us, gave us a beautiful room. The view itself was beautiful. It was up high. Didn't expect it, but was pleasantly surprised.
That's dope.
That was a great moment. Then from there, I came back and I went to San Antonio. As you all know, I work with Chris as well. And Chris has played...
That's CP for everybody out there that
Yeah,
don't know
CP,
who Chris
sorry.
is. You want one name him, huh? He's CP3, bro.
CP3, right? But because you've been talking about it throughout the season.
Bro, man,
that he's been not missing the game yet.
Bro, every time I talk to him, he's like, bro, I'm going to get this 82. And so I didn't want to jinx him by even bringing it up.
Same.
You know, I was like, he said, bro, I'm going to get 82.
I mean, you're talking about a player who's missed games because of a lot of injuries over his career.
No doubt.
For
He's-
years.
yes.
He
And it been his
played
20th season and played 82
20th
games.
So the greatness of that was so I gotta be there for that. I gotta
Yeah.
capture it, and I was there. And the thing I love about Chris is that he's so he loves his people around him.
Yeah.
So he was excited to see everybody there, but he also did something else. He was 4 points away from getting 23K points. And mind you, during the half, I was sitting by his wife Jada, and it's so funny to go to the game with family because halftime come around. 0 points. She like, boom! Boom!
Buster!
I was like this.
You win.
But, it was so funny because originally his plan was not to play the second half.
But he had to get those 4 points.
Got to
I'm
get
gonna
that
get
phone.
it. And you know, see,
He got to get that phone.
he going to run through the tape, bro.
Man.
Oh, he's gonna run through the tape.
He gonna
so,
run
so
through the
tape. He ran through the
CP,
tape.
who is one of the he's up there in what, number 2 in assists.
Yep.
Also has 23,000 points. He has more points than I have.
Wow.
And
How
I'm
many points
knowing,
you got?
Huh?
How many points you got?
He has more than me. That's why you gotta.
That's a lot of points, though, to score more than you.
He coming for you.
I'm at like 22 somewhere. He got 23,000 points.
yeah.
That's incredible, man.
That's incredible. So it
That's
was good.
incredible.
A lot of points.
But it was so dope to see halftime came and I sat in my seat. I never left my seat in halftime because he had a few attempts and he missed the last few attempts towards the end of the second half. You could tell somebody was going for it. Like,
Yeah.
he was kind of going for it for a little bit, right? Missed a couple of shots, and so he came back early during this halftime period, and you see him getting the shots.
getting the
I
shots,
said, he coming back into the game. He's coming back.
You
He
gotta
gotta
hit
get
too.
that.
You
You gotta
gotta-
go get it.
Surprised he went foul. I'd have been looking for some fouls. Get a good motherfucker on the line,
Oh
man.
no, he was hunting for a while, but then
I've been shot picking everybody. You know that one clip they got of me doing this?
How many points did
He
he
ended up
finish
with,
with?
I think it was 15 points.
He scored 15
Yes,
points in the
bro.
second half?
Yeah, man, he came back and got him.
That's what's up.
And mind you, they were down too. So they ended up getting the win as
So they
well.
ended up coming getting the win at the
Oh
same.
man,
I
it
know that
was
made
beautiful.
CP feel
'Cause he
great.
played all the way to the end. He played all the way to the end.
Yeah.
He got the win, he got the points.
Yeah.
And they-
82.
Well,
Too.
and he also too. Shout out to his teammates as well. So I saw
wasn't
they
the only
celebrated
one.
3 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
Shout out to Harrison Barnes. He's a vet in this league, been around for a very long time.
Yep.
That means something, especially to nowadays when people are playing 82 games. That means something as a vet in this league.
Right.
And on a team that's not a playoff or play-in team to make sure that you available every night.
I think CP sets that type of tone, though. Because when he go in, he'll share with you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like him and HB are real tight and cool.
Yeah, they got great
And he's
relationship.
like, bro, I'm gonna do 82. And when somebody next to you running that race and chasing, like, bro, why don't you do 82?
Yeah.
When
Yep.
last time you did 82?
Yeah.
And so people don't know the importance of having peer pressure, because peer pressure could be very motivating and good for you when somebody next to you chasing greatness.
Chasing
Yeah, no
greatness.
doubt.
Yep.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I think he put a lot of peer pressure there.
Yeah, that's dope. Congrats to those guys. I got a good story on that
Wait,
one.
we got one more.
You got one more
Well,
now.
Oh, I'm
Champagne.
sorry. Go ahead.
What's it, Julian Champagny?
Yep.
Yes.
Shout out to the
3
young
on the
fella.
team.
Three.
Shout out to the young fella as well for,
Yeah, man.
for doing that.
That's-
And also, like you just said, that point of having 2 older vets on your team that is chasing a goal. You know they're chasing that goal as well. I'm sure they was very
You
vocal
jump right
about
in.
it.
Right.
You jump right in too.
I'ma
And
do it
so,
too.
Shout out to the young fella. I don't know him. I haven't seen a lot of his play this year, but I'm a fan now just because of that.
Right.
I'm a fan of now. So shout out to Champagny, man. We look forward to seeing the rest of your
Forward to
career.
that.
Yeah, it's important. And I know you're going to go into your story. I was telling a couple of young guys today that's about to start their career, right? I was like, now that I look back and I've seen so many journeys, the most important part to any athlete is recovery, strength training, and recovery. Like, it's not anything else first. The skill set, all those things come with it. But if you're not healthy, you never can be who you are. So to play 82 games you have to have a system in place to recover.
Yeah, the best ability
Best ability
is availability.
Availability.
That's what they say.
That's
the
what they
best
say.
ability
Just
is
before-
availability.
So that's like a dime in there that most people don't understand. You say 82, like, oh yeah, no. He has to be available.
Right.
So it's a lot of things that you guys are not seeing that puts him on that court. It's a lot of work to go in 20 years.
Yeah, but
It's a lot of detailed work with his team, detailing their body, having the mindset. It's like you got to be completely healthy all
bro,
the way
6
through.
foot, about what, 190?
Yep.
Yeah.
20 years in.
And played 82 games.
82.
Shout out to one of the greats.
Shout
Shout out to
out.
one of the GOATs, bro. You know, CP in his own right is one of the GOATs in our game. And I think when people say GOATs, they think it has to be Mount Rushmore.
Right.
I mean, he's just a GOAT, period, from all the things he's done for the game and everything he do away from the game. And so, man, just shout out to CP, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, no. Mikael Bridges as well. He did
Oh, yeah?
82.
Yo.
Think he had 586 games straight. Hadn't missed a game since high school.
High school.
Oh, that's
or
wild.
probably before that. And I think he might be like 650 games away from AC Green.
I saw that. AC
He had another
Green.
8 seasons.
Green.
Yo.
Yeah.
AC went a long
But
time.
because AC wasn't getting no buns, though.
Yo, you know what?
See, I knew you was gonna go there. I knew
You
it.
are sick.
Was
I
he?
thought about
He
it, and
wasn't
you
getting that
said
team.
exactly what I was
I
thinking.
know you was thinking that. This
I
is
was
our show.
thinking that.
AC wasn't getting no. That was the talk in the hood when I was growing up. Like
It
we
was
all
the
knew that he
talk.
was playing. Everybody's like, because he ain't getting no buns.
Shorts a little tighter. He move a little different.
Boy got energy.
He got energy.
He going to get everything.
And his curl was dripping.
Hey,
People setting him up, sending people to the
Man.
room.
Right.
hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't got
nothing
the
wrong.
kids I got. You good?
That's a lot, though.
That's a lot.
That
To
is
be
a
that
lot.
That's
far
a
back
lot, bro.
away, but still, because right now, outside of him,
It's
who's
like 7 seasons straight in the NBA that
Yes.
he's played. He has to play another 7 or 8 more seasons to catch AC Green.
Yeah.
That just shows you the workman that
Yeah.
AC Green and players back in the day don't get a lot of respect from players nowadays because of the skill set is different.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not what makes you
not.
great, it's just skill set. And so you look at someone like an AC Green, who most players today, if you went up to him, they probably wouldn't know who he is.
Facts.
He was available
Yep.
for 1,100 games straight.
That's crazy.
That right there is one of the best skill sets you can ever have.
For sure. No
You know
doubt.
what I mean? When you want to talk about the game of basketball. So shout out to him and what he had to do to keep himself, besides getting no buns,
Right.
what he had to do to keep himself healthy
Yeah.
and shape and on a roster and all these different things back in the day.
A lot of people don't give that type of credit. When you hear other talk shows talking and other shows talking, they talk about the guys that are not suiting up. They don't really talk about the guys that are suiting up
ready.
ready and go, because you're focusing on what they're not doing versus who's doing something.
Yeah.
And that's why I think this is a dope conversation, because, you know, we bring in the light like Mikael.
Yeah.
So that makes me have more respect for him, because you
Right.
got to have something to you to keep showing up.
Come
Well,
on now.
his slender body too. You was a
Exactly.
slender body dude.
And I did it one time. That's my humble brag. I did it one time in 2010, and it was I came from Miami. It was a roller coaster sometimes with minutes. Even though I played a lot that last year, I think I played maybe 75 games. But I was like, I got to complete a season. And you go through so many bumps and bruises throughout a season, and sometimes you got to fight. I remember a time I'm in the locker room. I had a rolled ankle. And one of the best Ironmen, Monte Ellis, was next to my locker. He was like, "You out tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, bro. My ankle hurt." And he gave me a look like this and walked off. I was like, "You know what? I'm playing tonight. I'm playing tonight."
He disappointed. He gave that disappointed.
Like, you about to basically leave me out there by myself? He was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, okay.
So he came back. I was already dressed. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go." He was like, "Okay, for sure. Let's get to it then, bro."
Yeah, you
I
need
love
that.
that.
You need that.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's a good. That's
We did not say anything about Rory when we talked about the Masters.
Damn, we didn't say one thing
Sorry,
about
bro.
Rory.
Listen,
Yeah, we go back.
So I'm Team Rory over here because we've kind of grown with Rory a little bit in this era in the generation of us watching golf. Like, he's one of the greatest golfers of our generation.
Yeah.
And the Masters obviously was something that was a little elusive for him, something that he couldn't grab. And there was a lot of pressure mounting up over the last 11 years for him.
Right.
And I felt the pressure, and I don't know him, and I felt his pressure. But to see him go through this year, to see him not only capture the Masters, but he also captured what only 6 other golfers in the history has ever captured, and that's the Grand Slam.
Yeah. bar.
He is a GOAT as we sit here today. He woke up a GOAT today after all the struggles and the journey to get to what he's been trying to accomplish. And obviously what we've been looking at is the Masters, but that Grand Slam is something that's incredible, dogs.
It was amazing.
Did you explain? Can you explain? Because I was watching it, and I obviously got. But for those who wouldn't explain, who would know, because I was watching that last hole where he had to get to the green,
18th hole,
right, and then he got into the pit.
Oh, he hit it in the bunker.
He went to the beach, and then he said, "All right." Because I was watching it with Chris, after the game. So Chris and the family watching the TV, and he's explaining to us, and he's like, "Yo, we found out he going to the beach, to the bunker." He gets out there and got a nice part.
Yeah.
So now he just got to put it in and he wins.
Yeah. But the one thing about Augusta is they have some of the fastest greens that you will ever see.
Right.
And so what looks on TV, you cannot see it on TV with the naked eye. The green's going like this, bro.
Yeah, it's all kind of
hills
crazy.
and mountains and dips all in the greens. And so on TV, it looks like a straight shot. He's supposed to make it. You go there and you look, that's not a straight shot. And the greens are super fast. And so it shoots down, right? Whenever you're shooting a downhill putt. And so that was not an easy putt for him to make coming out of the beach, in a sense. Like, we would love for it to roll and get a little closer. Makeable putt. Right. But if you know those greens, and D. Wright got a chance to see them greens as we was walking, he was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Crazy.
I didn't know, because I watched the Masters probably the last 4 or 5 years, and didn't have idea how those greens run. You could tell just how these guys are tapping the ball and letting it kind of, take a mind of its own, the roll on that line. So it definitely wasn't an easy putt, but you got to give a lot of love to Rory. I'm more of a Scotty Scheffler type of guy, but I recommend anybody that's new to golf, if you want to model your game after somebody, I would call it like the Klay Thompson. I would tell a new basketball player to go watch Klay Thompson's form, his balance, everything about his jump shot, because it's just so pretty. And for a new golfer, that's probably the person I would recommend, because his balance, how he follow through,
Bro,
how he smacks the ball 300 plus yards, it'd be, maybe 5'8"?
He's about 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, so that'll probably be the person I would tell somebody to go watch and kind of mimic their game and swing after, because it's just so pretty and pure.
Yeah.
It was just dope to see. Like for me, as a kid who never really, watching, you guys kind of got me into golf, right? And it's just cool to see. I'm watching golf and I'm like, what's happens next when you miss it?
I was not watching the Golden State Lakers game last night. I was watching the Masters, bro. I'm checking my phone to see what's going on in the NBA, but my TV is on the Masters.
I'm telling you.
It's
I'm
crazy.
telling you, that's why. That was dope. That was dope.
Crazy.
I'm still thinking about the correlation between basketball and golf, because golf is a sport that requires, when you're talking about this swing, in my head, I'm just thinking about, how pretty like a clay shot looks, but it's so many things, details that are applied through the routine to get it to that prettiness, to that rotation. And then he's talking about how fast the green is. And I'm thinking about floaters and being able to gauge how much power, how much control, Yeah, I'm just thinking because it requires, it's a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to have that in your tool belt.
Well, that's why my short game's so solid, though. Because my floater game was nice. You know what I'm saying? But you did say something very important. And this is something I'm still learning. I actually just had a lesson today. And one of the things that my teacher was talking about today was me learning how to use the ground. And every time he talks to me in basketball terms so I can understand it. He was like, if you're going to take off, how are you taking off? Like, what do you do? And you got to feel that ground before you take off.
No doubt.
Yeah, you got
right? Like, you got to feel that ground. You got to get your legs, whatever the case may be. So, like, when you over that putt and you're trying to hit that ball 300 yards, 100 some yard, whatever, you got to feel the ground. Like, and I don't feel it yet. And I was just telling him, I was like, I swing with my body right now. I'm not feeling it from my feet up. When I play basketball, you got to have balance on your shot. It comes from your feet up first. And in golf, it's the same thing. It's from feet up, right? And so I'm just learning all these things, and a lot of it ties back to basketball. If you have the base, if your base, like think about it on golf swing, it's like how wide your base is, how strong you feel in your base before you even get to the rest of the stuff that's hard. And I didn't learn it. I went in the opposite way. I'm learning this way, and now I'm like, oh, I got to feel the ground.
Facts.
But in basketball, when she showed me in basketball, yes, I can't make a shot if I don't have balance, if I don't have footwork, if I don't feel that balance low before I get to what's going on up here. And so, just correlation
That's
is
dope.
It's so crazy.
I love it when y'all talk that golf game. I'm new.
I'm like, look, we go.
Yeah,
I'm
we
learning
do.
so much. I be asking D Wright over this stuff. I don't be knowing all this stuff. I'm like, it's so much to learn about the
I
game
heard
of
some
golf.
of y'all
Bro.
say it at the table when we was eating at the golf range. We talked about how many people have been in the Masters or won the Masters. How many years? It was like so many years you guys had numbered. Then you got to another number.
What we were talking about the field for the Masters. We were talking about once they get to Saturday, how many people make the cut. And so it's 50
Because you're not
people.
automatically
No.
in.
No. So Thursday and Friday is to obviously work yourself to be in for Saturday and play on Sunday.
Right.
But it's only 50 people who make the cut. And so we were going back on the numbers of how many golfers is in the field versus how many makes the Saturday Sunday field and all those things. Just going
It was
through
93, right? 93 to start.
Yeah, it was like 90 something to start,
Yeah.
and 50 make the cut. It goes down from there.
Wow.
So yeah.
I'm gonna have you say we're gonna obviously cut around this, but say Clippers, like Golden State versus Clippers.
Oh, I said Lakers.
Say Lakers.
Yeah.
So that we can come back and add
Okay,
that
bro,
to
I
it.
want to be watching the Golden State Clipper game. Bro, I was watching the Masters, dog. That's how locked in the golf I'm in. My theater screen is on the Masters. My phone is watching the game like this. What's the score? Let me get back to the Masters. Moving on a little bit, man. Some other topics that we need to talk about. We have not covered the Hall of Fame. We have not covered the Hall of Fame announcement with obviously a lot of different people going in, but Carmelo Anthony going in.
Shout out.
Dwight Howard going in.
Shout out.
Sue Bird going in.
Shout out.
Sylvia Fowles going in.
Shout out.
Maya Moore going in.
Shout
Bring
out.
them coaches in
Old
there
A
now.
Redeem team going in.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So I'll throw that out there a little louder. Let's man, talk about the Hall of Fame, man. Talk about the one player.
Coach K's going in.
Coach K going in by himself, or he's going in with the Redeem team?
Oh, he's going in with
He's going in the
he just
Redeem team.
represented
Yeah,
the
he
team.
represented the Redeem team. But it is other people that would definitely be in the field. But just the Hoopers.
Yeah.
The Hoopers in there. Everybody get one person that they want to talk about that's in the Hall of Fame, their careers. Obviously what you guys think about them, and then what you're looking forward to seeing as they enter the Hall of Fame.
I'm going with my 2004 draft class E. Number 1 pick, Dwight Howard.
Yes,
Shout out to Dwight.
Shout out to Dwight. He's one of the 8 guys that came straight out of high school with me that year. I'm just so excited for him because a lot of people try to erase the history. A lot of people try to erase the facts that he was one of the most dominant bigs in the league. We talk about injuries, back injury. Nobody really bouncing back from a back injury like
Facts,
that.
bro.
And even though
Back
he
surgery.
did, he was still able to be a champion. He was still able to help the Lakers win that championship in the bubble. But just the all defensive teams, the defensive player of the years, the rebound champs, getting to the finals with his team in Orlando.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, we kind of forget about that. So, I'm super excited for my guy Dwight getting that nod.
Also, too, man, he's not a guy who had the ball.
At
He's
all.
a guy that had to go get the ball. And
Facts.
so what Dwight did was he went and got it with blocks. He went and got it with rebounds. And then, too, they had to give it to him in the post. And so for a guy to have a career that he had as someone who didn't have the ball, that everything he did, he had to go get the ball.
Right.
And he still became one of the greatest to ever play this game. I mean, he should be in the top 75. We all know that.
Most definitely.
It most definitely should be. I mean, his dominance on the game of basketball when he was dominant was dominant.
Yes.
Right.
It was consistently dominant. You will know, you coming off a pick and roll, you're like, where Dwight? Where Dwight?
Yeah.
You going for left, you're like, where Dwight?
Yeah.
You better find out what Dwight is, because
a
Dwight
little
Howard
ass.
was flying all over the floor, bro.
I love it. Flying all
But
over
Dwight,
the floor.
y'all know what made Dwight special.
Time out.
What make Dwight even special to me when you go and look at the evolution of the centers that he played against. He got a chance to play against Dream. He played against the Diesel. We're talking about in an era where centers were.
Dream who?
Oh, he didn't catch Dream?
Nigga, Knight snoring, he didn't catch Dream.
Who was
Yao,
that?
Yao was the
Was it
center.
Yao?
It was
He
Yao.
called
Was
snoring.
Yao?
Night, he didn't catch Dream.
So when I'm looking at it,
Maybe.
The dream.
Dream my ass.
But I was looking at all the bigs that he was playing against.
But it was
bro.
Yao there.
Yeah, it was Yao.
Yeah, we know what you
Because I'm trying to go through each one of them. Was Morning still there?
Morning.
Yeah.
okay.
You
You go
obviously
through
big
it,
fella,
it
Big Shaq. Woo. He was at the, Dwight is in that last part of catching
He
D-bigs
catch-
before
the
the game
bigs.
started to shift.
Switching over.
That's what I was
And
talking
he was
about.
one of the last dominant bigs before the game started to shift.
And when it shift, they went 4 rounds. So if you go look at their offense, they were one of the first groups that played with 4 guards on the perimeter. They played around him and spaced the floor. That's how he got all them lobs.
Yeah, Turk
Because they had
Blue was-
Turk
Turk
at
Blue was
the 4 a
cold.
little bit, and they really, really spaced the floor and made him play above. When he would rim run, you get to make decisions with Jameer Nelson and a few of those other guys. When he came in, bro, he caught like this wave of centers. And then he caught another wave of centers, and then he.
But Dream was in the league though. He just was not Dream no more. He was Buddy Snow.
No, he retired by then.
Yeah, he was.
No, was he?
No, you know what?
No, because
he
they
probably
beat-
called Pat. He called Patrick Ewing still in the league, bro.
Pat was gone too.
Pat was still in the league though. For when I got in the league, Patrick Ewing was still in the league.
Yeah, but that next year he was gone. 04.
Oh, okay, because he
But
was
that's
in
still
Mike,
04.
all
When
them
you think
niggas
about
gone.
04, you like,
he was in
damn,
he was in Orlando in like probably my rookie year. Okay,
was?
so he was
Right, and so that's
Patrick
how,
Ewing.
and that's
Yeah.
when they got
Then the next
that's
year.
Dwight.
But it was a lot of really good, bro.
He
You have to
said
be really
dream.
good
Oh man.
in there.
All right, Bob. Anybody that you want to talk about?
Nah, if I'm gonna talk about anybody, I'm gonna talk about Melo.
Yeah, well, we all gonna talk about him. So
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to take the person. So it's funny because I wanted to talk about Dwight too, because I like, for me, both those guys. It's interesting that those two guys, as great as they are, they for some reason they get a little bit of disrespect that I feel like, or don't get the respect that I feel like they should be getting as a fan watching their games. Because every person you talk about or talk to who talks about playing against Melo say he was a problem. Like he was a problem to go against because he was just, it was tough. I remember I was watching this episode of Paul Pierce talking about it. He was like, I hated going up against him. He'll beat you up for like
Man.
for 40 minutes. You just beat up, just gone, man, get you. It's tough for it. And that kind of game I've always respected. Like from watching him from the Final Four into the league as early years in Denver, which I know Jokic is gonna get that 15 retired, but don't try my dog.
Yeah.
Because he was the first 15.
Come on
You know
now.
what I'm saying? Stop playing with it. But anyway, I'm just happy. Like, I'm so happy for like now he's getting his flowers. Like how, mind you, he's always gotten his flowers, but he was getting a little bit of flack towards the end. I'm so happy for like he's getting the respect because people are now trying to like, you know what, Melo was nice.
Yeah, facts.
Like Melo was nice, and I'm kind of on the fence in the sense where you look at the fact that they brought the years up earlier now. Because you don't got to wait the whole 5 years and then went to 4 and to what it is. But I'm just glad for him to get his just dues. With Dwight as well, but get his just dues. I am kind of like wondering about the redeeming team. I wish I would have had your own moment. I'm happy you were a 2-time finalist, but I wish I would have had your own moment outside of that. Let Melo get his. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, hello, Melo.
man, when I think about Melo game, man, first of all, yeah, and we know the disrespect that comes with. When you say Carmelo name, you shouldn't be talking about nothing but how cold this dude has been since we've known Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
And I always talk about this. Carmelo was the first pro that I saw in person. Like when I went to his first college game, we both played in the Coaches versus Cancer in New York, and I got a chance to see Melo play before my game. And I was like, oh, that's the number 1 pick in the draft. I've never seen nobody that cold in my life.
Right.
Like in person. You know what I mean? Like I ain't talking on TV. And he's been that cold ever since. So I just, when I think about Melo's game, bro, and I don't know how you can even open your mouth to shit on a player like that. He had everything. When it comes to that scoring side of that basketball, he can score in any way once he passed that half court. He is a threat.
Yeah,
From the way, bro, first of all,
super threat.
he can get his shot off versus anybody, anywhere, anyhow. He had
no dribbles.
With no dribble. He can one of them guys can give you 60 with no dribbles.
No dribbles. You just start there.
He might have gave us 60
dribbles.
with about 5 or 6 dribbles.
Yeah, no dribbles.
jab, step,
But he also can give you 60 with 3,000 dribbles.
yeah.
But just guarding him. I'm just gonna go about guarding Mel. Whenever I got switched on him, I didn't know what he was. I had no idea what he was gonna do, because if you guard Melo and he's facing you up, he got the just raise over you without bending his knees. First of all, Melo didn't bend, so his shot was just quick. It was quicker than you can get up to contest it. So he can face you up, look at you, and you can't even contest it. Right, silky smooth. Then he had the jab step series, which is one of the coldest jabs in the game of basketball, where he just gonna sit there and he gonna jab you, fake you, jab, and raise on you. Pop. Then he got the jab, he gonna jab you, and now he going middle, he going baseline, dunk on you.
And put you in the rim.
And he traveled.
For sure.
But he gonna jab on him. He gonna go, but he gonna push you in the rim as well, right? Well, then now we got the back down series. Now we got the shoulder in you. Now we got the hip in you. Now we got the ass in you series. You couldn't guard him then. Melo's about 250, 240, 250, solid. And so me, whenever I got on Melo, it was a guessing game. I'm like, I hope he go baseline. I hope he shoot this jumper because I didn't know what he was gonna do. So just one of the most skilled scores with that basketball, even to today. He's one of the best basketball players that you will ever see. He can go out there right now, not in the NBA, but in the game of basketball. If you see them playing in open gym in the summer, Melo can get right out there with them.
Send me the Hezzy clip. We was looking at
you bro,
cooking,
Hezzy, dog.
And get there. But you know, with Melo, is a combination of like when you look at speed, power, touch, footwork, the ability to read the game, IQ.
Yeah,
it's a combination because he's a positionless player. You see him playing the mid, you see him at the block. He hit a trail three on you. Now he's coming off of a pin down catch and shoot. He can play pretty much at any spot on the court. So I was more impressed with him understanding how to get to spots, and you can't stop him.
Yeah.
And the more you watch him, the more you really look at how detailed he is about his operation. And to be a great scorer, you got to know what you're operating out of. And he put the pressure on the defense, and he was unstoppable.
Yeah, he was.
Unstoppable, bro. Like, just period. So I don't know if anybody could shit on an unstoppable player, but it's just what it is.
They be trying.
Yeah, that's tough.
No, Hello Mellow was cold, man. I always be thinking about my life because I always forget so much stuff. I lived a killer life so far at this young age before I hit 40, but I had a great opportunity to go work out with Mello when I was in high school. His agent became my agent once I got to the lead, and that was one of the perks. I was able to go work out with a young Mello, was able to see the work ethic, see how he worked, and I was kind of able to gauge how hard I needed to work to get ready for the draft. And I'll never forget him sending me his first pair of shoes. That was cold. And I'm just thinking about all this stuff right now. I forgot about this stuff. It's crazy. So just to see him be in the Hall of Fame now, see him getting the love that he deserves now that he's retired. So I'm super proud of that, to know that I was there in the beginning to see him really work. I always put him in my top 3 hardest to guard when people ask me, with Kobe, KD, and Melo. And when I say Melo, they be like, why? Just like you said, too fast, too strong. Too far back, pop. Too up, too close, I'm by you. And then he's gonna be physical as well. So man, one of the toughest
He's a good
guards.
rebounder too. Fuck out of here.
For sure.
Fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Great rebounder.
Fuck out of here.
Great offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder. 1,000%, man.
Heck yeah.
And like you said, I think the biggest thing is when I talk to Mel about the Hall of Fame and when they ask for advice in this, and I think the one thing that I got, and Grant Hill actually shared this with me, who had an amazing career, but it was taken away a little bit about injury, is when you're going through your career and it doesn't go the way you want it to go, or you going through and people shitting on your career, or whatever the case may be, it matters. It matters to you, right? It matters the chatter. What's going on? Oh man, I wish I had this, or my ankle went messed up. You have all these moments, but when you get that call to say you in the hall, that shit don't matter no more.
Right.
When I'm watching Melo out here getting his flowers, nothing what happened in his career mattered. Right now, he's in the Hall of Fame with everybody else. He's in basketball heaven with everybody else. So nothing else pre this going forward is going to really matter to the story of Carmelo Anthony, because you cannot say Carmelo Anthony without following it with H, the O, and F from this day forward once he go in. And so, man, just salute to my brother, man. I'm happy for the flowers that he's getting, but I'm happy that I know what this moment, this experience feels like. And I just can't wait to be there, to see his family, to see him feel this feeling. Well, it gets realer and realer every day that gets closer to what is September 5th, 6th. It's going to get realer and realer and realer for him as it get closer and closer. And no one deserves it more. No one deserves their flowers more at this point, or how their career went, than Carmelo Anthony. So, man, I'm happy that my brother's getting, his much deserved flowers.
Yeah.
Who you think he's gonna bring out? Who you think will have him bring him out?
I don't know. It's tough because you only could pick Hall of Famers.
I know.
And it can be multiple, right?
Did you see Dwyane
you can pick
asked
multiple.
for
Which is
Shaq?
dope. Which was dope. And Shaq is great.
Shaq right
He asked
away.
for Shaq, Kareem, and it was another center. KG. Well, another
Okay.
big.
I like
KG.
that.
He asked for those three, but Shaq said he'll be there for sure. But yeah, it's hard because I didn't know this. I didn't know that it had to be a Hall of Famer until I became a Hall until it was my time.
You
and I
got
was
your
like,
access card.
until I got my access card. Right?
Then
you don't know this if you don't have an
know-
access card.
You don't.
And so everybody that don't have the access card, you only
they would
can pick
never
Hall
know
of
that.
Famers to sit on the stage. And then too, you got to think about the relationships you have with Hall of Famers. You can't just call MJ up like, "Hey, yo, bro, I watched you growing up. You want to come and sit on the?" MJ not coming to do like
Who
you
you
know,
talking to? Him or the assistant?
voicemail. Yo, him. So you got, I mean,
call
Mel got a
somebody
different
up.
relationship with MJ. You know what I mean? Been with the Jordan brand for so long. So I definitely think MJ could be somebody that Mel can call. And I think
Kinda
as one of his
That'd be
athletes,
killer.
I feel like
That would be
MJ could be
killer.
one of the people that come and walk him into the hall. Outside of that, it goes to relationship based. Like I just used AI. I know he's close with AI, so I know he looked at it like. But so that's the hard part about it is that it's only existed Hall of Famers and there's not a lot of Hall of Famers. And so, whoever he picks, I'm sure he's going to be well thought out and think of. But if I had to pick anybody, I'm going to say it's going to be MJ.
Yeah, I like that.
I
I
like
like
that
that
too.
call.
I
I like that.
I like
Yeah.
that too.
It fits. Last one that I'll talk about is the 08 Redeem team. And when you go out, when you are part of an Olympic team, you don't be a part of that team for no other reason than to win a gold medal.
Yeah.
This is for gold. It's gold or nothing when it comes to the U.S. Olympic team. And our Redeem team was trying to redeem ourselves from us losing gold in 04 and also to our bronze we got in 06. And so we were on our redemption and we redeemed ourselves and we got what we wanted. We brought USA basketball right back to prominence. Our game was in a good place from that standpoint. We won our gold medal and that's it for me. I'm thinking that's it. I didn't know years later it would be a Redeem Team documentary that I'd be executive producer on and then we get an Emmy that's actually in the office.
Humble brag. That was killer.
Just a little quick one.
That was killer.
But I did know we would be getting a Hall of Fame nod. I never thought about this. I never thought about we would be a Hall of Fame as a Redeem team, as a team. That's not something you think about it as individual.
No doubt.
You don't really think about it as a team. And so to get that call and to say that, hey, you guys are in, as the 08 Redeem team, I mean, yeah, that's going to be incredible, for each player that's able to come back that was on that team to one, get back together.
Yes.
We don't spend time together. We're not around each other. And so to be able to be together, obviously our brother Kobe is not here. We've already lost a member of our team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad they did it now because tomorrow and the day after is not promised.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to celebrate it with the people who were a part of bringing the U.S. back to its prominence. And so shout out to 2008 Redeem Team. Dwight Howard's going to get a gold medal twice. Melo's going to get a gold medal twice. They both getting 2 gold medals in the year. They both getting 2 Hall of Fame nods at the same time.
That's 2 jackets.
That's
That's what I was going to ask.
Is that 2
Is that 2
jackets?
jackets?
2
2 blazers?
Do you get another jacket?
I don't know. I don't know.
You got to.
Bro, I don't know.
You get another ring?
I'm about to get a new access card. I don't even know.
That's fire.
I'm about to get 2. I'm about to get 2.
They about to have
I
2
guess the
access
question
cards.
is, has there been any other 2-time, I guess,
I'm sure.
Hall of
Yeah,
Fame,
you
yeah,
got
for sure.
coaches. You got coaches who players and coaches that's in there.
okay,
You like Mickey. Shout out Mickey Harrison's going into
Oh,
the
yeah,
Hall of
Mickey,
Fame.
yeah.
Shout out to Mickey going in with them 3 rings. Yeah, boy, talk about that. Me and Mickey had a great conversation about. I'm like, Mickey, who would have thought you and I would be going to Hall of Fame at the same time?
That's
Like, how cool is that?
that is cool.
very cool.
That is cool.
And so, yeah, man, it's going to be a great moment. And so I'm glad to be a part of it. 1, to be there to support Melo. But 2, to be there to be a part of a team that did something really, really special almost 20 years
I
ago.
think that's dope, though, for some of the players that was on the team that probably not get into the Hall of Fame.
Tayshaun
For
Prince,
that.
Michael
But they are
Red,
Hall of Famers now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
the whole staff, the whole
You couldn't
coaching
even-
staff.
You couldn't even write that story. Like,
Yeah.
now you are Hall of
Now
Fame.
you Hall of Fame.
Because it don't matter how you get in.
You there.
You just got to get in.
You got to get in. So,
That is-
big moment
that's
coming up, man.
facts.
Shout out to the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, my brothers.
Yes.
Is there going to be some parties again? Because
No parties from us as we see it today. It's Melo Hall of Fame in my eyes. So
okay.
Melo got to throw all the parties and spend all his money. Nothing coming out of these pockets.
Can I ask you this?
What?
Will the pod be there?
I mean, I thought about it. I thought about
What's the
us pulling
dates
up.
again?
Because
Okay.
the first time I did my first ever show
did
when it was
it.
on
I
the
was
Y, I did it with
have to.
at the Hall of Fame.
Has to be there.
I did it. That was
Paul.
my first one. I had Powell, I had Tony, I had Dirk, and myself.
It was a dope
Pantheon
setup.
episode.
Huh?
The Pantheon episode.
Yeah, the
It was
Pantheons.
dope.
I had Pantheons,
dope.
and so if they let us come in, I don't know. Melo got 7 p.m. Everybody got shows and pods now,
Yeah,
so
true.
Dwight got-
it may not be no room for us.
They might not be able to do that though. You did something that ain't really nobody did. We talked about it. Ain't nobody that was going into the hall had a part and utilized
my
that
part there.
platform.
I did.
You did it.
I did. Well, I guess
There.
it's something we can talk about. You know, we got some connections at the NBA.
Yeah.
We'll see what's up. A topic I wanted to talk about, Shedeur Sanders.
Mm.
And the reason I wanted to talk about Shedeur is he's been getting a lot of flack about him being overconfident, cocky. You know, all these words that someone decides to put on the player.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a lot of it is put on him. One, yes, because he's the son of Prime.
Prime time.
Right? And in Prime, he breeds and breeds DNA swagger.
HOF.
Yeah. He like he said, his jacket should look like everybody else's.
That's
Right.
And
He did.
that was a bar.
That was a bar.
Mhm.
Access card.
Just let anybody in.
You just let anybody in.
He said
Everybody
that.
don't get into every room.
Yeah.
But it's something wrong with me when I say something about access card. But when Prime say, my jacket should look like everybody else's.
He did say that.
He did say that.
He did say
He
that.
did say that. And he ain't lying.
He ain't
He
lying.
not lying.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
Like, keep it honest with you. Should LeBron jacket look like the rest of everybody else's jacket that's in the Hall of Fame?
No.
No.
Should Michael? No.
No, they should have something different in the inside or something.
Something.
Extra pocket or
should
something.
be
A little
different.
mix around in
Yeah,
college.
something.
Listen.
Something.
But Deion did say that.
But Deion did say that. So the flack that Shedeur has been getting, and a lot of that flack kind of has been going from whatever people's perceiving as his personality trait to his talents.
Right.
Right? Like they've been trying to mix them in together. And it's separate. His confidence is obviously, he needs to be confident at that position that he plays. This is the number one position in the football that as long as I watch football is the quarterback position. And he is that. So he has to be very confident. But also too, when you talk about, when I see him, all I've seen was him do is win and learn and take teams and you know in places and learn how to win and have big moments and be stable and you know be one of the people who you could feel confident in those moments. He's going to make the right plays, going to make the right pass. I go off eye tests.
Yeah.
I don't go off of what his 40 is versus what his arm strength is and all those things. I know the NFL does that, but as a fan, I don't like the way that they're trying to put, you know, to say that he's too cocky, he's too this, he's too arrogant, he's too all these things because he gonna hit you with this, because he gonna hit you with this, and because he gonna tell you if you don't want your organization
Exactly.
to be changed around, then don't draft me.
Come on.
I think it's a difference when you got a daddy. This is the importance, in my opinion, of having fathers be fathers. Because he ain't faking it. That's who his daddy built him to be. And when you got people that are in your life that can give you the game and then help you put your blinders on, he probably don't hear the noise. He's being exactly who he is.
Yep.
And a lot of times when you're being who you are, people don't like it. They want you to fit in. They want you to not say what you're thinking. And so that confidence goes back to who is in his ear. And if I got a son that's in that position, I want him to have that same confidence.
We all want our kids to have that confidence.
facts.
First of all,
Right. And to believe in the process. Like, say what you say and then mean it. And don't back down because somebody put a camera in your face and a mic and then go after you. And I think Deion has really prepared him because Deion really understands media. He understands how to speak. He's one of the best speakers. He can engage people. I was watching him talk to his team the other day, and he brought up his O-line guy to do a sales pitch.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
was
fine.
but then he was like, "Nah, bro, you got to talk to him." Like
he told him to pick 3 people out.
Exactly.
He was giving him how to go and do
So
it.
imagine the game that he's given to Shedeur.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So now what you're getting is somebody that's getting his reps in when you ain't watching. He's confident.
Yeah.
And his brothers, they, what we call crack jokes. They always high-siding him. He got in a car with like a big fluff coat on. I'm calling dad right now. Look at this guy, Hollywood. But that keeps you so grounded and having people around you that can crack jokes and make jokes in fun of you. And so I think all these things, when you look at just his little circle that he has, it gives you a ton of confidence. And when you work at it, nobody can see the work you put in when you're not on TV. That's what you're seeing.
Or if you're not posting it.
If you're not posting it.
Yeah. What do you feel as a black father? You got a kid right now who's playing soccer. You want him to be the greatest soccer player he can be. What kind of father are you? You gonna tell him to be confident or not be confident?
That's all I want him to be is confident. I don't want him to be nothing else but confident if I can, because to me, he is the image of his dad. Like if people forget how Prime came out with the Rolex in the chains and on the phone.
Yeah, then he had a Will Smith during the Will Smith
Right.
first choice, that big gray joint.
Yeah.
Like this ain't like this is in him. This ain't like he ain't putting on. And to me,
It's in you and they know you play.
right, you know what I'm saying? So to me, his authenticity of who he is and who he's always been, I'm good with that. Like I've been good with that since the day I saw him. And so for me, I want him to be himself. And if that's him, and he's been showing that's him, and playing. Not like he's been doing that and he's been stinking up the joint. He's been doing, they changed Colorado. The fact that I never think I was,
bro, he
changed
changed
Colorado.
it.
but listen, think about the fact that I don't know, we were in Napa. I feel like this was in Napa, or this, no, I'm sorry, this is actually the other time I was. And I went to the bathroom. They had the games playing in the back. So people were watching, like people stopping to watch Colorado football. Everywhere you go, he's a part of that. And to me, so that's in him. And when he says, I want to win, like all that other extra stuff, that's him.
Bro, they got a
that's
TV,
him.
they got an old TV show. Go back and watch how Deion talked to him.
Back when he was young.
When you really become a student, he's talking to him, bro. Just the way he talks to him. He walks. If I could coach my son in college like you guys, if you coach, he walks his son to the other end, telling him how much he love him, how much he care about him.
Tell him how great he is.
How great he is.
Yeah.
That
Tell him he prepared. He ready.
He ready.
You saw this, you know what I mean? Getting him ready.
Getting him ready.
That's a
like
coach.
That's, like, man, that
and a
right
father.
there. If it's as a father who's looking to have his child just be great in anything he does, how you can hate on that?
Right.
How can you hate on that? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
real
So
hard
for
when
me-
you got people cheering for you, bro.
Exactly.
It's hard, like you said, to kind of not like what Deion has done for his kid. You know, one is be there, be present, you know, because a lot of people don't have that opportunity to have their father present. So I always salute every single father that's present.
There you go.
That's installing that confidence. That's what my dad did with me and my brother. He worked with us. He held us accountable. And then when we were doing well, he gave us a little bit of a pat on the back.
Right.
But that motivated us to be successful. I think as being a black man, I feel like when we go in certain rooms, people want us to dim our light instead of being us. Yeah. And, you know, whether that's our personality, standing tall, because I find myself doing it, being one of the tallest in the room. I'm kind of, you know, trying to fit in.
Shrink.
But I feel like that's kind of what the society want us to do is dim our light a little bit and not be us. So I feel like what Shedeur is doing, he's creating his own brand.
Yep.
We're talking about NIL. How you supposed to make money if you're not promoting yourself and branding yourself?
Right.
So why he got to do it? And a lot of it has to do, and I'm just going to call a spade, him being a black quarterback.
1,000%.
Period.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's ace of spade you just called out.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of that stuff that he's doing isn't what they're used to seeing. You know what I mean? So I respect Deion for being a father and being present.
Yep.
And that matters. You know what I mean?
You just said something that's so important, and this was someone told me this. When we walk in rooms as tall black men, we try to get smaller.
Yep.
Our voice get lighter because we already come in and we already
Scared of the bass.
big and so I was softening my voice in rooms, and he was like, but your power is in your voice. Why are you softening your voice? And he's like, you're doing it because of your stature when you walk in the room, and a lot of it is because I'm bigger than everybody. You know what I'm saying? When I walk in automatically, I'm blacker than everybody when I walk in automatically, and so you're trying to do everything to fit in, right? And like, you know, and so I'm glad you brought that up because we all have that. We go through identity crisis of who we are, depending on the rooms that we walk into. And so, you know, when you grow up in this world and the first images you see when you're in school, the first images you see, if it's not an athlete of black people, is through slavery. It shows, it makes us look weak. All the photos that I saw growing up was men walking, being whipped or beat, but looking weak.
Right.
We never looked strong, even though it was muscles on us.
Right.
We didn't look strong. And so when you grow up and those are the first images that you're seeing in school and they're talking about it, and you got a father that doesn't look like that, that is giving you a whole different photo to look at of what confidence look like, what strength look like, and then someone makes it, you're cocky because he gave you a different image. And that's the thing, is we all are trying to be images for the next kid that look like us, so that they come through the same community that we come through. And Shedeur has one of the biggest images in the world, and his dad. But I grew up, like obviously loving my dad, but the images I saw I saw weakness in us. Unless I saw Michael Jordan flying through the air.
Right.
Unless it was an athlete, or unless it was Muhammad Ali,
Right.
who was talking his shit along the way too, right? And so I love the fact that Shedeur has stayed Shedeur.
Yep.
Even though the media has tried to say what he's not, because it doesn't matter where he goes, where he's get drafted. What Rondo said when he said over there, the cream's gonna rise to the top.
And
the cream is gonna rise to the top in that kid, because that kid knows how to play the game of football. He's done it his whole life. He's been born to do this, and that's what he's gonna do. Whether he struggles or not in the NFL right away, the kid is gonna be a great football player. I mean, he is a great football player.
Right. And he has the tools. His dad's pouring the tools in him, and his dad, like, to me, that's just, I just love it. I just love to see it. You know what I'm saying? I just love to see it.